Okay, this girl just has to show up at every possible moment to just ruin the day. I'm gonna apologize early on. I think I might be coming down with a cold. It kind of snowed like 14 inches 2 days ago all at once. And I kind of was shoveling and playing with my dog, so probably catching something. And it's not Ash Ketchum. That was an awful joke. I'm so sorry. Let's get back to the game. So, what happened? We just left conversation, meeting the fabulous Rin. Sarcasm and everything. She's wonderful and has no arms, and it is beautiful. And now we ran into Miss Pink Hair Obnoxious Cult Leader. Okay. What is her voice? Oh no. Okay, let me get prepared for this.
What did she hear?
I jump at the sudden appearance of Misha, who I had not heard approaching despite the completely empty hallway. Somehow she's gotten to jumping distance of me without making a sound. Creepy. It briefly reminds me of Kenji's nutty theory about a global feminist conspiracy, but I pushed that thought aside. Feminists, am I right? They're great. Shizune, standing slightly behind Misha, looks aloof, as if she couldn't have heard the remark that drew Misha's attention, but Misha's visibly excited. That's weird.
No, wait. More importantly, who's in there? There's no club meetings today.
She tries to curiously peek past me, even though the door prevents her from seeing anyway, unless she has supervision. What are you doing?
You took so long that we had to come check what's wrong. That's no good, Hee-chan.
She wags her finger at me scoldingly.
I found plywood, but everything else is still missing because you are tardy.
I'm sorry. I got the things. I was just gonna bring them.
I think you were up to some mischief, Hee-chan. Who was in there with you, I wonder?
She's probably writing a fan fiction about us right now. Misha signs something quickly to Shizune, pointing at her own ear a couple of times. She just slides over. Shizune immediately pushes her way past me and opens the door to the classroom I just left. I can only imagine the shock she's experiencing. With Shizune's diligence and attitude, the insolence of daring to deface school property by sleeping on top of it must be too much to bear. Bear? Rar? And indeed, she stares at Rin, frozen in place, apart from the slight but noticeable trembling of her shoulders. From surprised rage, I'm sure. That's a rageful face right there. Look at that little face. Look at that little face. Your cushy little face. Instead of blowing up, Shizune just takes a few deep breaths, adjusts her glasses, and slams the door shut, turning to sign furiously at Misha. Oh my. Calm down there. Calm down. Maybe she did blow up, but I can't understand it. She shoots a very loaded stare at me too, as if it was somehow my fault that Rin is sleeping on one of the tables. I hope she's not getting any funny ideas about the reason of my tardiness. We did it. We totally did it. Oh, and I hope no one minds, I'm just using my voice for Rin, cause, I don't know, I feel like it fits. I don't know what to do for her voice. I respect her, so I don't really want to give her a voice. You feel? Hello. Rin's voice comes from the other side of the door, and it takes a few eye blinks to realize she might have trouble opening it. Oh, you're so funny, Hisao. Push you over. I open the door to find Rin directly behind it, looking at us with a half-interested, half-sleepy face. She's so cute. Hello. Dot.
Mr. Zuko, what do you think you are doing? You absolutely are not permitted to use school property for such, disgraceful activity.
It sure is suddenly very crowded in here. I didn't know I was this popular. It's hard to say whether she's happy or unhappy about this turn of events. At any rate, she ignores Shizune and Misha's scolding, so they have no choice but to drop the issue. Like a tissue. Shizune taps Misha's shoulder, points at Rin, and makes some quick signs. Dot.
Popularity aside, please don't do that anymore.
Dot.
Anyway, how is your project going? Will it be done for the festival?
Rin looks at them blankly, apparently at ease under the pressure Shizun's cold stare is putting on her. I keep wondering about that myself, too. Dot. Rin's cosplay would be really cool. I don't know, I really like men's dress shirts.
And?
We'll think about it harder. As Misha signs her reply to Shizun, her face turns into an unsatisfied frown. That's a very unsatisfied frown.
Miss Tezuka, please try to take this seriously. It'll be a disaster if the wall looks like someone threw up their lunch onto it.
Rin nods assertively. We'll think more seriously. Misha actually giggles at that. Shizun doesn't. Not even after translation. She just shakes her head, takes the materials from me, and takes off with Misha in tow. Rin frowns thoughtfully as she looks after the retreating student council duo. How rude. It's true, though. I must finish my project before the weekend. There will be dire consequences if I don't. The end of the world as we know it. Like weekends usually are, but more dire. Much more dire. Maybe I'll postpone my nap to unforeseen future. I'm about to ask what project she has and what are these apocalyptic consequences, but she walks back into the yacht room. Since you have nothing to do, would you give me a hand? Ha! Oh, that's not funny. This paint can't fit into my bag, but I don't need it. I do need it. She kicks lightly at a huge can of paint that's lying on the floor next to the table she was sitting and sleeping on. It lets out a dull clang. Being the gentleman I am, I naturally pick it up. Heavy. Yeah. Where I need to take this? Away. And with that, she takes off into the hallway. Me and Paint can follow, since there's little choice for either of us. The hallway is quiet and empty now with Shizun and Misha gone, so we too leap towards the stairwell to the other end. Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps, I have to change the can from one hand to another because the thin handle cuts into my palm. At least it keeps my arms from tiring too fast. That's positive, Hisao. Good job. Rin strolls on beside me with an uneven pace that I have trouble matching. Or maybe I'm walking weird because of the extra weight. It seems one of us is constantly walking too fast or too slow. I can't figure out which. Why does this even matter? What? Ugh. 2 flights of stairs below, trouble appears in the form of the head nurse and his fox-like grin. Oh, this guy. Oh, Mr. Nakai, what a happy coincidence. Tezuka too, of course. He nods courteously to Rin, who does not acknowledge him back, then turns to me because obviously it's me who he had some business with. He wants our body. The lesson here is everyone wants Hisao's body. There's something I forgot to mention on Monday. Scowl. I nod and wait impassively because I can't even begin to guess what I forgot. Feeling of the handle delving deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about this interruption either. It's about your medication. Since you haven't been that long on your current medications, there might be some unexpected side effects, which might require adjusting dosages or even changing to another kind of medication. So, we will do a few tests regularly. But what I'd want is for you to keep an eye on everything in your condition that feels off. If you get what I mean. Ha 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 ha. Nausea, headache, anything. And come see me if something happens. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Alright. So, how are you? Everything fine? Winky face. I give up and drop the can to the floor before answering him. Apparently this takes longer than my biceps can handle. Yo, weakling. Do you even lift? Brah? I'm about to say something generic as an answer, but then I realize how often I've done that lately. Other people have asked that too. Teachers and students here. My parents, visitors, nurses, doctors at the hospital. Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital, not so much for a school. Except this school. This is a small school, and both the student base and faculty seem to be very tightly knit. At least that's the feeling I'm getting. And this is not the kind of school that gets transfer students too often. The thought sends shivers up my spine, but I give a generic answer anyway. Generic. Oh, that's great. Ha! 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 Also, one other thing. My sources tell me you've been at neither the school track nor even the pool. So I'd like to know if you have taken up exercising as I asked, winky face. Have you been having sex? That's a form of exercise, winky face. Of course I haven't, but his way of inquiring gives me the feeling that I should have been running my ass off of the track since the very first day. If you ran your ass off, that would be very uncomfortable to sit, Hisao. Gosh. You have people spying on me? You're creepy. Not as such. I just happen to know a few people, but that's not the issue here. So don't try to slip out of it. I was doing some improvised weightlifting as an exercise. I pick up and lift the can up and down a few times like some sad imitation of a bodybuilder, even though it's weighing down on my arms painfully. The stupid grin disappears from his face for a second, then comes back like it was never gone. Look it did! A little shit-eating grin. Tezuka, would you give us a second? Oh. The nurse grabs me by the shoulder without waiting for Rin's permission, which he didn't need in the first place, and drags me aside. When I told you to exercise, I wasn't joking. I understand you're still on your first week and all, but please don't ignore the importance of this. The reason I'm coming down this hard on you, is that habits are not easy to form. The more you slip and postpone, the harder it'll be. It's the same with everything, like dieting. Dieting has the word die in it. Dieting. Can you promise me to be more serious about this from now on? Yes? Yeah, I promise. Totally, bruh. He studies me for a moment, then shrugs, smiling again. Tee-hee. Okay, that's more like it. If you go to school track tomorrow morning, you'll meet my spy, who probably has no qualms offering consolation to you if you want to jog a bit. Consultation? See you around, winky face. Ha ha ha.